Hello, everyone. Welcome to this series of design document guidelines for data and analytics platform. We are into the last lecture of this whole series. So far, we have covered all the important sections that should go into a design document, right from the overall tech solutioning, design considerations, design principles, the security guidelines, testing guidelines, references, appendix, right? The last section not the last section, the last part of this lecture, right? What I want to talk about some of the other key things which are equally important that you should consider while writing a design document. Okay, so far we have seen like what should go into the design document, but now what we are going to cover in this lecture is uh, so some things like when should you write a design document, who should write it, who should review it, right? So what is the right time to create a design document, right? See, people do it in a very different way. Again, it's all depends on person to person, right? The architects who is going to write it, some of them may first do the overall design, think about the overall solution, do some POCs, have brainstorming sessions, and then finally start writing the design document. Some of them may start the design document and then think about it. I think a good practice would be, right, you should create the design document while you are working on the design, right? When so it is an activity. It's more about the observations or your thought process that you are trying to document. Okay, so whenever you're working on a solution design, you start writing it, and then it will evolve, right? This design document, it's not something that you have written it and the same copyright which you have written on the first day would be as is after couple of months. And sometimes it may take that much of time, right? It may take 1 month, it may take 2 months. Again, depend upon the kind of things that you are trying to implement. What Writing a design document helps to clear a lot of questions, right, which would arise during the implementation phase, right? Once you start writing it and once you are into the flow, all the dependencies, all the smaller details, right? All these questions will come to your mind when you start writing it. So it is important that you write the design document whenever you are doing the architecture, you are creating the data flows, and you are designing this. Uh, the other thing is, as I said, it's a document which will evolve over period of time. Okay, you will have to take some course corrections based on your observation. So you'll have to keep on changing the design. A lot of things you will understand it, especially with new tools, new features. Right, once the dev team starts working on it, you'll understand a lot of things where you may have to make some changes to the design. So make those course corrections whenever it is required. It might be a smaller change, it might be a bigger change, but then you'll have to do that. The second question which I often get, right, like who should write the design document? Okay, when it comes to data and analytics platform, I think the data architects are the best fit for this. They can do that. There might be other solution designers, or there might be tech leads, or anyone experienced enough who has that who have worked on similar systems, who have the right set of experience, expertise. Maybe the tools might be different. See, if you're working on something like Snowflake or Databricks, okay, you might have not worked on these earlier, but then you may have experience of working on Spark or other warehouses. So you can use the same experience while writing this document. So I would say anyone who is experienced enough, and again, there is no I won't like to put any number like 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years. It's more about how much experience you have in that role. If you have been designing even ETL systems, right, you would be a better place to write these design documents. And if you're not no, never done this, it's fine, right? You can learn from others' experiences. You can go through this blog, all this video series. I'll put a link of this Medium blog into the description of all these lectures. You can follow all these steps which have been mentioned. Who should review the design document? Again, this is very important. See, the consumers of this document are different personas, right? There is a data engineer would look it from a very different perspective as a data analyst. So you should share once this document is complete, right? You should share with all the stakeholders. So maybe the high level requirements you have captured, they can be reviewed by the business teams, NFRs maybe by the production support teams, right? And I'm sure the production support teams, right, uh, if you involve them right at the start, right, they will have a lot of questions because they are the ones who are facing the heat all the time, right? So they'll tell you a lot of things about orchestration, scheduling, your error path, right? They'll tell you a lot of things around that. So do take their views, also to take their suggestions, and also send this to a review to the developers also who are going to implement it. Because see, as an architect, right, sometimes you might not understand the, some features may not be that easy to implement, or the expertise may not be there. So try to get the views of the developers also, right, and how it has been done earlier. They may know it better. So see, it's a good thing to take suggestions from everyone, take inputs from all. But then yeah, as an architect, I would say, right, make changes based on your own judgment also, right? You cannot agree to everyone, you cannot agree to everything, because then this document, right, the consumers are different. Everyone has their own set of things that they'll have to take from the document, and based on that they will have their own suggestions. But as an architect, right, you need to find out the right balance, right, between what is the best design and what's a practical design. uh, See, it may happen that you don't you may not come up with the best design, but it's a more practical design, more feasible design, considering the tool stack that you have, considering the experience level, considering the skill set level that you have, right? So it's more of a judicious call that you will have to take as an architect. But yeah, send these to everyone, take their suggestions, get their review comments, see what changes needs to be made, and then strike the right balance. A design document is a live document, remember this. You will have to make changes, again smaller changes, not a very large change, I would say. But as you progress and you find certain things, right, see, there might be a new feature that might come up. Okay, let's say like capturing the deltas or the change data feeds, right, the change data capture mechanism. Maybe when you started, that particular tool was not having that feature, so you had to implement it a custom code. But then as you progress, there might be some new feature that does come up, then it's fine. I mean, you can make those changes in the design document. Okay. And the final one, right, take sign offs, very very important, don't forget to do this from all the relevant stakeholders. Now, why it is important, right? It's not just to finalize the design, it's more about to ensure that everyone has read the document and there's a common agreement, right? See, all these things, right, why we are doing this, so that to bring in uniformity, so that everyone is on the same page, they all understand what you're trying to say and they can work together. Okay, so it's more about to get everyone on the common platform, have that common agreement. So ensure that everyone has read this document and has provided their sign off, they all understand what are the design principles, so that everyone can follow it. So this would really help, right? If you get the sign offs, it ensures that everyone is reading the document, and then you have a common governing policies, right, for everyone to follow it. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that was the last part which I wanted to cover. So yeah, thanks everyone for if you're watching this, the last lecture. Thanks to you. This is a big series with I think 10 or 12 lectures that I have created. But if you're more interested in any more details, please go through the blogs also, and do provide your comments either on this YouTube videos, or even at the Medium blog post. Any more suggestions, any more additions, I'll be happy to answer those, or maybe include those in my future lectures also. Thanks again, and have a great day, guys, and all the best with your designing of your data and analytics platforms. Thank you so much.